Men of Reddit, what's the hardest thing to explain to women? Sometimes I'm not in emotional or mental state to be ready for the bedroom. I need romance to get me there sometimes too. I don't always want to be the one that imitates sex. It makes me feel like a creep. Why, I don't know what the F my best friend is up to in life even after hanging out with him all day. That emotional state of meh. You're not great, you're not terrible, just meh. Nothing is really wrong, you're just not really feeling it. For some reason, some folks interpret this as pissed off. They then continue to ask, why are you so mad, despite you answering against this. They keep doing asking until you actually get annoyed and angry. When you say, does this outfit look okay, and we say yes, you look stunning, and you reply, well, you would say that. Half my brain thinks please believe me because you do look stunning, and the other half thinks WTF did you ask me for if you aren't going to believe me. It's not that we're hiding things or we don't want to talk to you, but we actually are just thinking of nothing in particular sometimes. Why I want to fix everything. Appliances, door hinges, emotional problems. Bro culture. Women just have different relationships with their friends than men do, and it's hard to describe in rational terms how men's friendships work. We harass each other, and are usually obnoxious, but would also break our backs for our brothers that we tease relentlessly. When you ask me how my day was or what I did today, nothing in my day usually stands out as special, so I just don't remember. I usually don't remember what I do, I just live. I'm seriously not checking you out every time you walk by in the office. I turn my head for damn near everything that enters my periphery, you're really not that special. When we say we need time or space, that's exactly what we need. It's not code for you need to try harder. The concept of post-nut clarity, and the related power your boner has over you. Men, am I alone in knowing that you don't or shouldn't text any woman if you're horny or jerking off? It's okay to just tell me where you want to eat. We appreciate women making the first move. That sometimes we need personal space and it has nothing to do with our opinion of you. Sometimes I'm just horny, but, in a committed relationship, sometimes I look at you and I'm just so in love that I want to be as close and intimate with you as I can, which is sex. My ex and I had different love languages, and she would worry that I don't love her as much as she loves me, which was just crazy because I was head over heels for her at all times. Trying to explain that really close, lovey sex was one of the ways I showed her exactly how deeply I was in love with her, but she didn't get it. I was at home, when my wife and her friends got home one day from the pub. They were all giving me funny looks and smirking. I asked what was going on. They at first refused to tell me. After a little of prodding on of them goes, I heard all about your dick. And they all broke into laughter. I was a little taken by surprise but laughed and said something like, oh yeah. Hopefully all good. And they laughed, and that was the end of it. After they left, I was like, what the hell did you tell them? And my wife responded by saying how she told her friends about our vigorous romps on our honeymoon in Mexico, apparently in great detail. We were there for a week and probably had sex about 3 times a day. We were both pretty sore when we got home. We had an all-inclusive, so we ended up getting day drunk and got pretty physical with each other as you do on a honeymoon. She was like, whatever, you probably tell your friends about us when it's just the boys. I don't about you guys, but the extent of what I ever say is usually a raised eyebrow and something like, oh yeah boy. I have never once described my wife's body to a single one of my friends, nothing in detail about any of my sexual partners, from before my wife, and it blew her mind. Apparently girls talk in great detail about it, guys usually don't. And they assume we do, and we assume they don't. Sometimes an erection just happens. We don't control the thing. It's a physical response that could literally be from nothing. When we say we don't care, we really don't care. Yes, we can have an opinion on something, but when we say we don't care, that means our opinion isn't strong enough to sway us either way on something. 1. That I am simply not clairvoyant. You need to tell me what it is you really want. 2. If you're disappointed in something, say so. I can take it as long as it's not number 1. Sometimes, this is me personally, so I can't say it's common. The struggle not to share emotions isn't as much the worry if / from society or friends, etc. It's more just a conflict within ourselves to verbalize and come out with it. I trust my friends with respecting how I feel, I just can't get it out because I'm fighting myself. How much compliments mean to us. It's a different type of happy when a guy gets complicated. P at an angle. I really want to see if we'll get along well enough to date, but I'm horrible at maintaining a conversation without being too safe or too out there. The specifics of nod code. It's easy to say up if you know them. Down if you don't, but the exact meaning of the downward nod is hard to translate. It's seeing them, acknowledge them, and saying that neither of us have any issue with each other. That the reason I shake the gas pump the amount of time I do after I finish pumping gas is the same reason I shake my dick after I pee. We can hang out with other guys all day and not talk about anything personal or of substance. I think women tend to share more of this stuff with each other. What's going on in their relationships, career, etc. While guys tend to not share this kind of stuff with each other so often. We will every now and then. But a lot of time we tend to kind of keep things on the surface. I've just had so many of these kind of conversations. So how's Jeff doing? He's doing well. Is he still going out with Amanda? I actually don't know. Well, didn't you guys hang out all day? Yeah. What did you talk about? Nothing really, just kind of whatever. Isn't he your friend? One of my best friends. As much as we're seen as sex-crazed pigs, we talk so little about women when we get together for drinks or something like that, and when we do the topic doesn't last long. Literally can't even remember when was the last time me and my best bud talked about women, we're both single too. Just usually talking about our old friends from school and what they're doing, cars, our jobs, sport, or politics occasionally. That just because I'm quiet in your presence doesn't mean I'm upset. Just means I'm either tired, don't have anything to say, or I'm thinking about something. We're still a human, so that's mean we have feelings too. So please take care when choosing your words when you're arguing with us. Sometimes we could use a hug. The feeling of getting kicked in the nuts or straight up right in the shaft that immobilizes you and leaves you in fetal position with the feeling of needing to throw up while at the same time having sharp radiating pain from your asshole through your neck. Very often, we say something at its face value with no double meaning, or alternative meaning, behind it. It's women who ask me, "What did you mean when you asked or said that?" I said or asked exactly what I meant. If wanted to state it differently, I would have done so. That just because I'm a guy doesn't mean I don't care. I've had women talk to me about guys losing their hair. He's a guy so he doesn't care. I know a lot of guys who hate being bald or the fact they are balding and their hair is thinning and hairline is receding. This idea that we don't care and don't care about our looks because we are a guy is ridiculous. I have to constantly explain to my wife why my 2-year-old son is obsessed with his penis. I have to explain why he always wants to touch it and grab it when his diaper is off. She will never understand why our baby and his father share this habit. This will probably get lost amongst all the comments. I think it is hard to explain to my wife how much I love her and the kids. I feel like words are not enough and I work a lot, but I wish my feelings could just be transferred so she understands. Why we bottle our emotions up. That men can sit for hours talking and talk about nothing. A lot of us aren't great at picking up hints. Too clean for the hamper, too dirty for the drawer, that's why I put my cargo shorts on the floor. We'd love to be able to share what is really on our minds, sexual and non-sexual and every topic and viewpoint under the sun, except we're afraid of the relationship consequences. An itch on my dick is way worse than an itch anywhere else. No, you do not have superpowers that give you the ability to read my mind. Hearing you think makes my skin crawl. You can pop a boner without being aroused. You can get a boner even when you are nervous. Most of us don't get complicated, so if you do give us one, we'll remember it forever. That we don't know every detail about everyone else in my life. When I mention I hung out with someone, my mom will ask me what their wife does for a living and can't understand that it didn't come up in conversation. Why I have peed in my backyard a surprisingly high, her words, number of times. Just because I'm attracted to you doesn't mean I want to have sex with you. The fact that we can ride in a car with another man for 5 hours and not say a word. Drives my wife crazy.